G'day fellas, and welcome back to another casted game. Spawning in on the west of the map, it is Petric Pones, who we're just going to be calling Petric, and he's going to be playing the Holy Roman Empire today. He is going to be spawning in on Black Forest. As you guys can see, he's got this beautiful pond behind him. Undoubtedly going to be getting some fishing boats happening very, very soon on this map. Starting out with a prelate, he's going to be moving up towards the north where he's got this beautiful wood line and a great lumber camp. You can just see the coverage that he's got in here looks absolutely beautiful. His opponent, who spawns over on the eastern side of the map, it is Dinky King. Now, we've covered Dinky King on the channel before. He's quite a good player. You can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen at the moment, we've got the ranks up there for both of these players. Rank 65 for Petric, rank 56 for Dinky King. So these guys, a little bit of a an inverse, but we've got Dinky King on the Rus today. Now, Rus is pretty, I would say it's not a particularly meta civ for this map, and I don't want to use the word meta because I know a lot of you guys don't like it when I say meta, but it's important to understand that, there are civilizations that have natural bonuses that lend themselves towards certain maps. So on this map in particular, the Chinese would be a very good, or very strong pick, just because you're able to get up to the late game with them. You can wall up very easily, one wall there, and one wall here, 3 little walls, and you're able to basically get into the late game as the Chinese. And from the late game, that's when they're the strongest, and so that's why they're considered a meta pick, or a good pick, a strong pick on this map. Now, obviously, Petric realizes he's up against a Rus opponent, going to be shooting down these deer himself, hasn't spotted anything out, and obviously he's only gotten out the one scout at this point. He is focused on getting down his dock nice and early. He's got this prelate up here towards the north as well, going to be buffing up all these wood line villages. But we'll check in on his opponent. And so already got the dock coming out from Dinky King. He's got plenty of gold in the bank there as well. You can see 305 in there. So he's going to be absolutely fine. He did actually miss one of these deers down here, but picks up the hunt towards the north, picks up both of these hunts in the middle, with the exception of this single deer, and obviously this hunt down towards the south. Petric picks it up, so he's going to be very happy. 3 out of the 4 hunts. I tell you what, I'd be feeling pretty good as a Rus player. Now, he's going to realize that his opponent is probably on water there. He hasn't scouted out the lumber camp, I don't think. He hasn't spotted out the lumber camp, but you can, at this level, you can assume that almost everybody is going for some sort of water boom. You'd be absolutely crazy not to. If you are playing Black Forest, it's really important that you do utilize these resources. So think about it as a second town center. Essentially, you're creating a second set of villages here on the water, and these are very, very good villages. They drop off incredibly quickly. A lot of resources, but now going to be looking to age up here. You can see the amount of villages he's got underneath his town center. 7 villages here. So really looking to get those villages up, and 5 of these villages on the wood line. Just going to be sustaining his wood supply for the fishing boats, which he's there we go. Now he's got that one out. So he's sitting at the moment at 210 bounty. So he's 40 away from that all-important 250 mark. That'll give him 25. And then this will give him 40. So he's actually going to have more than enough. So each sheep actually is 5 bounty. So that if he kills all those sheep within the next minute, that will give him that all-important bounty. You can see he is working towards it now, and looking to age up very shortly. We'll go check in on his opponent, Petric, and see what he is up to. So Petric going to be doing something similar, and you can just see how many resources he's actually pulling in here. He's got the 4 fishing boats that are out here. Plenty of villagers on shorefish, and I do like this a lot from Petric. He's got the prelate down here as well. Going to be buffing these up. This is so smart. So for anybody unfamiliar, shorefish are actually incredibly strong, or incredibly fast to gather up. I love this. This is actually a really, really cool move from Petric. I've got a feeling this could probably be something that is quite meta on this map. So you need to think about it, right? From a longevity perspective, it makes sense to not do this, but if you're trying to look to extract all the resources out and do it as quickly as possible, this is definitely the way to do it, because fishing boats, you're going to end up creating maybe 10, 11 fishing boats at most on this map, but this is quite smart. Ark and Chapel now going to be going down as well. I'll be honest, I don't really like the positioning of this Ark and Chapel. I would have loved to have seen it right here. Buffing up that wood line, buffing up the gold mine still. I mean, it does manage to get the majority of the town center, but even if you place it here, you can bring your sheep in over on the north side of your town center, and you can more than easily capture that one up. Now a little bit of harassment coming in here from Dinky King as well. Now, these are obviously going to be able to buff up these shorefish, but keep in mind, there's not a lot of food left on this bad boy. He's down to 230, so he's probably going to be having to work down towards these, and it's just obviously not feasible for them to be walking that far. So, yeah, definitely, I would say almost a little bit of a mistake here. And now we do have that barracks getting dropped down. Doesn't look like there's any fast castle, at least at this stage, for Petric. But we'll check in on his opponent. We'll see what Dinky is up to over on his side. So Dinky going to be dropping down 7 fishing boats. Going to have the 8th one and 9th one coming out. Still yet to hit that all-important tier 2 with the 6 sheep that he's got back there. I'm not sure if he realizes it. But going to be spotting out the barracks for himself. 520 age up time. Pretty competitive age up time. Stable going to be dropped down now. And going up with the Golden Gate, which is no real surprise there. We do see the Golden Gate most of the time being the choice that people will take. Now, I'm curious exactly what trade he made. I'm assuming he sold food for gold. Do we have any research coming through? Not at the moment. We might have some over here. No, it doesn't seem that way. And so now going to be repelled out through a single spearman that looks to repel these scouts. Will we see? I don't think we're going to be seeing any professional scouts. We'll have to keep an eye on it. 6 villagers on gold. That's quite a few. That is a lot of villagers, so we'll have to watch out what he does. I would expect that he would be going for some sort of fast castle in this situation. Arkan Chapel up, and actually looks like we've got a fast castle coming out from Petric. That is 7 villagers, so just a few spears out here to potentially look at closing any potential holes that may be created through these scouts. The other alternative is obviously if there are knights out on the field. Now, he's going to look to come out and scout it out, and Petric actually going to spot that. Does spot the archery range, does spot the other stable that was put down, so maybe that sort of gives him a signal as to what Dinky's up to, that he may be looking to fast castle himself as well. So we'll have to spot and see exactly what happens. But typically in this map, you can pretty much be guaranteed that players are going to look to fast castle. First and foremost, very, very safe backwater is the reason why that happens. And second of all, you've got a beautiful spot to wall here. So not only can you wall your enemy in, but you can wall yourself in as well. So it is, it's very, very nice. And speaking of walling in, look, now we've got Petric moving up towards the north, going to be walling his enemy in. So going to enable plenty of room up there for him, and he's got to be careful with these spears. He doesn't want to lose these, at least to a single archer. Petric now going to be able to click up at the 7-minute mark. We'll see him dropping down that all-important Ragnitz Cathedral. No real surprises there. Where are these relics out on the map? He's got 1 relic down here, 2 relics here, 3rd relic over outside the base of Dinky King, 4th relic not too far away, and then 5th relic he has actually walled it in on his own side, but he's going to be careful. There's a little bit of a push coming in right now from Dinky, and if I'm honest with you guys, I don't really like this. This is slightly concerning. Now, obviously, his Petric going to be able to get up to the next stage. He's going to be able to make horsemen here, going to be able to make those all-important men-at-arms. And the most important thing is that once he gets up to that next age, that he's able to secure those relics. But the issue that he's going to have is obviously there's units in his base straight towards the wood line. He doesn't need wood anymore. Ideally, he can fall back, even come off onto these straggler trees. It's going to be fine, but just a couple of horsemen out to get on top of these archers, a couple spears to get on top of these knights. He's going to be absolutely fine. Men-at-arms, once they come out as well, they're going to be more than capable of dealing with this push. Ideally, for Petric, he wants to avoid making spears at this point because he needs that extra wood for infrastructure. That's the big thing. And making archers here, once again, it's the same situation. He needs wood for infrastructure at this point. So ideally, you want to be making those early men-at-arms. You want to be making those knights once you get the option. But he's only got 3 villagers at the moment on this Ragnitz Cathedral. This is an amateur mistake. All right, I'm going to call it out right here, Petric. You got to have like 10 villagers on this bad boy, man. You got to get up to that castle age as quickly as you can. It's so important for you to be able to do that. You know, unlocking those lances, really, really big. But now, pushing in, his enemy does a little bit of damage trying to come out onto one of those villagers. We don't see that he's got the upgrade for the textiles just yet. Those archers looking to do a bit of damage here. A few men-at-arms here would be absolutely huge, but it doesn't look like he's going to have any, at least on the way. More spearmen going to be coming out. He's got the triple military production and the prelate coming out to do a little bit of healing. Got to be careful. This is an expensive unit. You don't want to be losing that. Archer's doing a great job of just looking to get the little picks off. Another horseman coming out. It looks like he's going to be able to hold this push. It is quite a small, subtle push, not particularly big. It looks like we almost had a villager pull there. I think finally now, Petric's realized that. Wait, he's putting down an outpost. Now, keep in mind, these guys are very high ranked. We've got top 65 versus top 56. So these guys are quite high ranked. That villager did manage to get the wall off. Put down a little gate here as well. And now going to be moving back and walling himself off out of the berries, but at least he stops all those units from coming through. And Petric hitting the next age now. How many prelates does he have out on the field? We need to count them. So he's got 1 in here. I can't see any more that are out here. So he doesn't have any units moving down towards that angle. We gotta have a look at Dinky King, see where he's up to. No age up in process at the moment. He's really committing to this second age play. Now, plenty of men-at-arms would actually deal with this. We still don't have men-at-arms coming out right now. No crossbows either. Okay, finally we've got knights. Knights are going to be very good in this situation. He's got to be so careful at this point, though, Petric, because he's really fighting for his life. Ideally, just needs more infrastructure. You see the resources that are down here. Just 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks down here. All making men-at-arms would be absolutely, an easy way to secure victory here. Going to be running back towards the town center. We'll have a look at, from Petric's position, exactly what he's up against here. The early knights are trying their best to force those villagers back. They managed to get inside the town center. And now look at the reinforcements coming in from Dinky King. Huge reinforcements getting rallied across the map. How many buildings does he have down here? Double stable, double archery range. He's really committing to this age 2 attack, and this is not something that you actually see a lot on this map. Typically on this map, you do not see this sort of aggression. You would only ever see this aggression on a more open map. On a map like this, which is very, very closed, it's very rare to see this. And now coming over towards these villagers, managed to get a couple of hits onto some nice little charges, taking out one of those villagers. But keep in mind, he's got this Regnitz Cathedral. He's going to be able to pull this back. Even if he loses a lot of villagers here, he's going to be okay. Doing a quick villager count, 36 villagers at the moment for Petric. His opponent, Dinky, sits on 50. So there's a 14 deficit there for him. So I would say he's significantly behind. But now we've got the Rams coming in. And Dinky King is really committing to this age 2 on Black Forest. What the hell is going on right here? Is age 2 Black Forest actually a viable decision? I think that's got to be the question here, right? Because a lot of people expect to play into this. Look, there's a part of me that thinks that age 2 is definitely viable on Black Forest. And then the other part of me is just like, I kind of feel a little bit like Petric has misplayed this. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. We actually see that all-important emergency repair coming out now as well, but there just hasn't been a decent mass. I would have loved to have seen, 3 or 4 barracks drop down, just a massive men-at-arms, and it looks like he's tapped out. Petric has just tapped out. Has he called the game too early? There's a huge mass of archers that are in his base, but it really begs the question, was the game really over? Let me know in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this short edition of DrongoCast, I guess? I don't even know what to call it.